Welcome back to my channel. This is Sonia, and I finished Magical Readathon. I was able to pass all my classes. And then if I finish Iron Gold and I finish Sunrise on the Reaping, so I'll get about 10 extra points if I can finish all that before the end of April. But anyway, I'm gonna start with how I feel, and then I'll start reviewing the books. This was a lot easier. Doing the comics and the manga was a lot easier. Am I gonna be able to do it in the fall semester? Probably not. And I don't really know if I really want to. I might mix it up where it's like novels and manga and comics. But to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of comics or manga left. Unless I find one that I can read digitally, or get from my library. But as far as I know, like all my manga and stuff that I've been getting from the library, I'm caught up with what the library has and everything. So I'm not sure, and I don't have a lot left. But anyway, I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start with Mouse. I'm gonna just show you the spines because I'm not sure with what's on the cover if if YouTube would be okay with that. So I'm just gonna show the spines to be on the safe side. And I know I do have some German viewers, and that symbol's not allowed. So, it's World War One. It's a Holocaust book, comic. And what I can say about it is this would be such a cool comic to read if you're learning about World War II. So like either like a history teacher or English teacher gives you this comic. It's not even very long either. I think in total the total is like about 200-300 pages. And it shows you what happens in kind of a more simpler, more kind of digestible way. Like, I remember kind of some of the stuff that I had to watch when I was starting to learn about the Holocaust, World War II, and all that stuff. It was very, very haunting. It was kind of very, very scary. So, this would be like a really good introduction. Or if you're a parent that's like, your kids are getting into it and you want to give them like extra, you know, things, or if you have a comic book lover in your life that's like, you know, wants something a little bit more impactful, I would suggest this was good. And I kind of was talking to my boyfriend about it, and I was like, if I hadn't read so much literature for this time period, this would have impacted me so much more. So if you have somebody that loves to read comics, that's looking for something a little bit more than they're reading, or, you know, you have, I would say probably late middle school, early high school, because I think that's when they started talking about it. Not that we, you know, didn't talk about slavery and stuff, but I don't know. It was just, I just felt like it was a little bit more like we were like we saw like a lot more visual stuff just because of the time period, and you could because there was videos. Like, there wasn't really videos of what was going on in a slave's house, so every like they're taking information and they're you know, they're piecing stuff together when they make those movies. This like was real footage from some of the internment camps when I was in school. But anyway, so if you're an animal person, this might be something you might want to stay away from. I still did not think it was too bad. With being an animal person and with it being a symbolism, using the cat and mouse thing as you know, the Nazis and the Jews, like, that was fine. Um, a couple of things I feel like address. what this is about. It's not purely about the Holocaust. It's more about a son. That's a comic book. It's actually, this is actually a true thing. He did it in animal form instead of human form. But he sat with his father, and his father told him like what that time period really was, and that's really more what it's about. So you would have sections where they would just be like in modern times chilling out, and you would have times where you're talking about certain parts of the Holocaust and stuff like that. I felt like it took me out of the story sometimes, but at the same time, um, that's how you wanted to tell a story. And there's like parts of this that's like it's very beat by beat if you've ever read the literature. Like it really is. So just be aware, if you've read a lot of it, you'll probably notice the beats. So that was like one thing that I think kind of took me out of it, and then at the same time kind of just like it would be a very good educational tool, because it literally sums it up in 200 pages. Like I haven't read anything that short that just like literally just gives me the whole pattern really quickly of like from the ghetto to like them actually going into the camps and everything else. Like all those novels are like 400 or 500 pages, or those movies are like 3 hours long, where like I could pick this up, and read it in a day. So for that, I know it's a banned book. Um I know it is, but if you actually have the ability to teach this in a classroom, I think it would be so much easier than some of the literature that we have to digest as. And I think like symbolism and stuff like that, like there's a lot you could do educational wise with this, but I feel like for somebody that knew like the literature and stuff, I didn't get much out of it, but like maybe it could be a good educational tool. Anyways, I finished Omnibus 3 of The Girl from the Other Side by Salu. Oh, Mouse is by Art Spiegelman. Yeah. The art is actually very simple and really actually well done. I was really impressed with it. Yeah, but Girl from the Other Side, Volume 3. This got dark. By the last volume. So, this is about a little girl. A little girl, she gets transported into the demon world, and this is Teacher. She calls him Teacher. He's a demon. And it's usually about their day-to-day life. Like, literally, like, if you're into cozy fantasy but want something just like a little bit dark, like if you like demons, like if you're that bat meme, like, I'm darkness but I want cuddles, this is what that feels like. um so yeah, so the little girl gets kidnapped. I think her name's Shiva. I think that's what her name is. And he kind of forgets about her, which happens in this book. Like demons don't last forever. Like they actually become trees. So we have that kind of process like going on in like the last couple of volumes, and it got really dark. And stuff. Like the little girl gets like sent to the church of the human world, and they want to sacrifice her and everything. I was like, I'm like, this isn't cozy anymore. Like that's why I'm like like, I was, like, looking at my bingo board because one of the ones is cozy, and I had to, like, check with, like, a couple of resources. Is this actually still cozy? And they're like, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do that as my cozy SFF slot. I couldn't find anything when I was making that video, so I was like, I'll just use this. Yeah, but anyway, it went great this semester. Like I said, I don't think I could have such a calm semester. Um, I would love to say I've read pretty much everything on this shelf. So I might have some Vinland Saga in my next semester. Because it seems like the only time I dig through the shelf is when it's a readathon. And the next one I'm participating in is Escape the Readathon. Which you don't get as many points if you do read manga and comics. So what I'm probably gonna try to do is read mostly novels for that. And see how it goes. I've never participated in Escape the Readathon. But a couple of my YouTubers that I watch are involved, so I was like, okay. So I'll try to do that. I'll try to have more videos about, like, when I'm participating in readathons and stuff. A couple of my videos are actually, like, the Sunrise and the Reaping, like, I actually read for Magical Readathon, but for extra credit. So I don't feel too bad about, like, not saying it's a Magical Readathon because it was, like, an extra credit, but I can count it as an extra credit. Yeah, I wish I could do more with the Magical Readathons, but I work full time. So I try to do as much as I can. Audiobooks have been really helping me out recently. If you follow my channel, you know I suffer from migraines and stuff, so, like, I had, like, a really bad month this month with that alone. Kicked my booty. So I'm hoping, like, we just get better. I'm hoping by August, like, I really know if these pills work, if I can kick Summer's butt. Because summer is, like, my worst time for my migraines. Sorry for the medical update, but here's the medical update. But yeah, so I'm hoping soon here I can bring you guys some more, like, multi-book reviews instead of just individual ones. Excuse me. But at the same time, I feel like every book I'm reading right now needs its own review. Because there's no way I was going to just talk about Sunrise and the Reaping and try to half that video to talk about, like, Iron Gold, for example. That would just be too complex. It's two really big books that I'm just, like, one of them would just end up being, I gave this a 5-star, okay, and, like, the characters were great, and I couldn't really get into it. But I know there's gonna be some books that I can probably talk about like that. I have some more historical fiction books that I can probably, try to combine. Like, like, this worked out perfectly because it's two really kind of shortish, like, manga and comic where I didn't have a lot to say. I could probably talk about the symbolism of mouse, like, all day, but I don't, I know there's other YouTubers that have probably talked about that, but, that comic book book combo a lot more than I have. And I just, when you don't have a lot to say, you don't have a lot to say, and I'm really trying to, get there. Hopefully one of these days I might get to that point, but right now I'm just, like, individual reviews. But anyway, like and subscribe if you want to. I will be back hopefully soon here. you guys are getting spoiled because I know this video is coming out like on a Monday. Because I'm just trying to jam all my, I'm trying to just finish the Hunger Games this month with video wise. I did this month also finish the Hunger Games, but I'm trying to figure out a way to get all the videos in. So yeah, you guys are gonna get probably spoiled. I think there's gonna be multiple videos. Otherwise, you guys have a lovely one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!